So I was in a women's art group a long time ago. I'm just going to tell the story. And in this women's art group, one day, I was having sort of a bad day. And it was sort of, I'm not going to use any names, but it was a problem with somebody in my house. And I was frustrated and I was feeling mad and angry. Let's face it, right? We all have those moments. We all feel mad. We all feel angry. Our lesson for the day was about find a way to send love to somebody you're unhappy with in some way. And I thought long and hard about that, and I created something that I ended up calling the pink box of love. I took a box. It happened to be a Chinese box, a Chinese food box, Asian food box, whatever, and I covered it with pink paper and painted it all pink and put pink tissue paper inside of it, made it all warm and fuzzy. And I took the person that I was frustrated with that day in my mind. Clearly, I didn't put the real person in the box, right? But I was kind of taken aback by, these are sort of spiritual lessons, I guess. I was kind of taken aback by how different I felt after I created this box and put this person that I had so much frustration with into my box. So the principle behind it is sort of, when we get mad or angry or frustrated, we're not really supposed to be sending out that anger or sending out that frustration. Energetically, you're sending it out into the ethers and it's really just coming back and bothering you. So this was a way to put that person, still love that person, right? Still love that person for who they are, and maybe they're doing the thing that you don't want them to do. So, for example, maybe it's, who knows what it could be. I mean, they left dirty dishes in the sink and they didn't put them in the dishwasher. We'll pick on that today. It's a way for you to not send negative energy out to the person. It's a way to keep them sort of safe in their own little container, in their own little space, right? And you can still have your feelings. You're not negating your anger, your frustration, or whatever it is, but you're keeping the person safe from your negative energy, basically. And you're sending them love. For me, by making it pink and soft inside, it made it all about love. I've adapted this for our journals because I thought that would be a really, really fun thing to do today. So we're going to make our safe container in our journals. That's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to show you, that's what I'm going to use. When I'm done with my paint and I have paint left over, I just go page after page and paint it all over these pages for another time that I'm going to journal something, right? So that's all this was. It's not necessarily anything fancy, just painted background. Transmute, that's what we're doing. We're transmuting frustration, anger, and all those things. And it's because you don't want to send anger, frustration, hate, whatever those feelings are that you have to people, to anybody. You shouldn't be sending them out in the world because it's just going to come back and bother you more than it bothers that person. So by us being angry, frustrated, whatever we may be, it's bothering us, not bothering them at all. They really are going about their life and they really don't care. They really don't care that they left the dish in the sink. Doesn't matter. It's only you that's really bothered by that. So that's what we're working on today, right? Is doing something for ourselves so that we don't put negative out into those people that we love, or even people that we care about or don't know or whatever. The person that cut you off if you were driving, right? Somebody ran a red light. Those kinds of people. You want to be like, have a space, a safe space for somebody like that so your energy doesn't go out and cause harm. So I just had a square piece of paper. I wanted to make sure that it fit on the journal. So you could just cut any size journal. It was square, right? Then I folded the edges because you want to have an edge to glue down, and I folded the bottom. So we want it to look like this. So it's going to be like an envelope that we're going to glue into our journals. This simple. Now you guys can decorate yours. I haven't done this because I wanted to show you the step-by-step. Later I'll go back and paint this, okay? So what I did is I folded it. Once I cut it kind of to size so that I would make sure it would fit, I folded this edge, I folded this edge, and then I folded the bottom edge up. Now to make it so it's not bulky, I cut sort of at an angle on the corners, and that's what I'm going to do over here. I'm going to show you. So what I did is I cut the corners out. You don't have to be really neat about it. Doesn't matter. And then I just sort of angled it, hoping that you can see, like this. And then I'm going to do the same on this corner. And then I'm going to do the same on the top corner. That's mostly just to make it pretty when we fold it up. So here's what I've got. So all I did is I cut the corner here, the corner here, the corner here, and this corner here, and then these corners. Not fancy. I'm going to fold this up. Remember, I had already done it. It's probably not even straight, and I'm going to fold this. So what you really want to do is get glue. I'm using my glue stick. And you want to glue this into your book. I folded, and then I'm just going to put it in, and I'm going to push it down, and hope that it stays glued. If you don't have to use a glue stick, you can use, any other glue you have. You could use double-sided sticky tape if you had that, or whatever. You might have to work at getting the glue to stick better. That's why I'm using this for ease of what we got going on here today. So let's get this glued down. Take pretty paper if you wanted and shove it in behind it. You might have to work at it a little bit so it doesn't pop up. Again, remember, mine hasn't had time to dry, so you might want to make it pretty somehow. You could use pink tissue. You could use whatever you want. So you put that in there. And then I even thought I'd put a piece of ribbon in there. So you're trying to make it pretty. You want it to be soft. You're putting the person in a box because you're mad at them. So you want it to be soft, feel good for whoever's in there, right? And then you could take a picture of somebody. So I didn't want to name anybody. So I just took this card I had made of this quirky kid here. Just made this card, and so I'm going to fold his legs up so he fits in my box, and I'm going to pretend he's my person I'm mad at, and I'm going to stick him in my box, and I'm going to leave him there until I feel better about the situation or whatever. You could take people in and out of this. It's really an envelope, so we'll call it an envelope, I guess, but you could take people in and out as, the days change. Today you're mad at your husband, maybe because he left a mess in the dining room, whatever, or you're mad at the kids or whatever, they go in here. So you're stopping your energy from going out and you're keeping them safe in here, and that's the point to this whole exercise. You want to decorate your box, you could decorate it any way you want. Get this good and glued down. Again, this was paint that I had painted yesterday. You do probably want some kind of, pretty background or whatever you want to make. I mean, white pages are fine too. It's no big deal. I had this card. This is something, you could even do something like this. You could take pictures of whoever, print them out, and put them on a piece of cardstock or card or whatever so that you can keep them in your box of love. And you want to be careful to go behind those little folds that we have. And there you have it. Leave comments about your frustrations. What's driving you crazy right now? What's going on in your life that's frustrating, you're finding frustrating, or you're getting mad about, or, the little things. Because I'm going to tell you that those little things that we get really mad about and frustrated with, those say more about us than the other person. So it takes a while to be able to say, okay, maybe this is just the way I'm looking at it. Maybe dirty dishes in the sink aren't any big deal. I mean, it could be worse, right? They could be on your sofa or, in places they don't belong. So again, those frustrations say more about us independently than it does about the other person. So this little exercise is a way for you to keep those people you love safe without your energy interfering with them, and for you to feel better about everything, about the frustrations and about yourself and about them.